used to want to be a thug.
Is ordering cannabis online legal? Check. We're going the same way.
Huh? Oh, wait, is this? Oh god, it's recording. Is this supposed to be an intro? Shh. Welcome back to the worst person you could watch talk about things. So let's talk. This time about Chainsaw Man. Now, at this point, I've seen the series twice. Once in English and once in Japanese. Subbed, of course. I mean, I don't know Japanese. We already learned that from the last video. Not learning an entire language to watch Chainsaw Man, okay? Like, I just don't need to do that. I've also read the entire manga, including part 2, which is a video within itself, you know, like part 2 is actually the entire manga could be split into 2 separate parts. So like, you know, it's like a whole thing. But the anime is good, like seriously good. It's funny, charming, sarcastic, stupid, suspenseful, dramatic, and amazingly animated. It's just full of life. As always, spoilers ahead, so if you haven't watched the anime, go watch. First things first, the characters. Let's try to go one by one as to not make this entirely confusing and complicated because there's no reason to do that. Firstly, our boy Denji, aka the most relatable man alive. Denji is cunning, sarcastic, annoyed by everyone, and somehow the stupidest yet smartest guy you'll ever meet, which is kind of like a paradoxical thing because, you know, stupidest isn't a word. He spouts off childish and rude things like he'll die if he doesn't. It's absolutely what Denji is supposed to be as a character. I mean, if you read the manga, you'll know that the anime nails this aspect of him. This is a teenager at his finest, and I love it. Well, not exactly. He's more teenage in a lot more ways, but like this is a really good representation of somebody who didn't get what he wanted as a child. And then they add that layer of depth to him, showing that he does care about people, but like in his own way for the shallowest of reasons. Everything he does is fueled by his own self-desire, and it's exactly how it should be. I mean, the man is obsessed with girls, and like that's honestly relatable. Power. Oh, how I miss Power. Why? Power is her usual self in this show. Angry, naive, evil, murderous, and somehow oh so lovable for the most part. I love her English voice actress too. She really brings out exactly what Power's character is. She sounds exactly like her if she spoke English, that is. She's amazing in the show, and it's shown throughout her interactions with Denji. I love the brother-sister relationship that they have and the weird, complicated feelings they have towards each other of hating, yet simultaneously liking being around one another. She also manages to get exactly what she wants by manipulating Denji into doing it for her just by one thing. Touching them. It's absolutely the dumbest thing ever, and I love it. It shows off her and Denji's character perfectly. She's just awesome. Like, oh my god. Himeno is one that I'd like to briefly touch on before I get into the last two. My least favorite and favorite. In that order, exactly, actually. Himeno is a great addition to this show. Beautiful, nonchalant, aggressive in a playful way, and oh does she know it because she gets her way by using those things. In fact, she uses those things to her advantage multiple times in the anime to get what she wants. It's honestly great, and it shows her character. She kind of gets her way like Power does, but like uses it for good things instead, and also to tease Denji and Aki, which is great. I'm still pissed that they killed her off after she formed her alliance with Denji. It was a really stupid thing to do. Like, I don't know why they did that. It's, you know what? I don't question Tetsuki Fujimoto. There you go. Yeah, I don't trust him anymore after this. So, I mean, I do, but I don't. He's great at writing things, but also, why, dude? They also killed her after
Wanna do it?
Makima. I hate her. So moving on. Okay. I know that it's not fair to just skip over her, but come on. If you've watched the show or read the manga, you know why I do that. But fine, I'll talk about her just a little bit. Not too much, just a tiny little bit, okay? As someone who's read the manga, Makima is exactly how she's supposed to be. She's cold, cunning, and absolutely planning some shit. Obviously, something's up with her, and if you read the manga, you'd know why. If you haven't, why are you here? Go read the manga. Jesus. And as far as my favorite character, Aki. Aki is absolutely the best character in the show. Now that's my opinion, but still a valid one, you gotta admit it. I know so many people fawn over Denji in power, and yes, sometimes even Makima, but after they watch the show, they don't. You can't beat Aki, man. You just can't. He's the perfect straight man to all the bull that goes on in his life. Like, seriously, he has a lot of stuff that just comes flying at him that he just deals with. Without him, who would Denji and Power bounce off of? He's like integral to the whole dynamic between those two. Even though he's the no bullshit straight man, he still manages to be the person with the most emotion and sincerity out of everyone in the cast, which is really surprising, but also not at the same time. Aki may seem like an asshole in the beginning of the show, but he's absolutely amazing as they develop his character and you get to see who he truly is. And they killed my boy. They killed him. They murdered. I really need to talk about the animation in this show. Yes, need to talk about it. This shit is beautiful. It looks exactly like the manga, down to a T, and it has an immense amount of details. Why don't we use Attack on Titan for comparison, okay? Now, I like Attack on Titan Season 1 through 3 just as much as the next weeb, but that has a lot of weird animation tricks that they use to bypass taking the time to actually animate things. So many still frames, up close shots, and shot reverse shots in that show that it honestly gets sickening. Like, seriously. In Chainsaw Man, still frames and shot reverse shots are present, but used as an advantage. Whenever the show pauses, it usually shows a character's reaction or emotion to the situation that is presented. It's really cool seeing these characters pause and take in what's happening. It makes sense in this case, you know? This as opposed to two characters sitting in the exact same place in the middle of a fight with their mouths only moving. The whole thing's a cheap trick, but it can be used really well in the right hands and make sense. The backgrounds are also amazing. Like, the background artists put in work to this, like, seriously. All the backgrounds make this world feel a lot more real. Like, people actually live there. Like, Earth has existed for millennia. Like, it's crazy. It's so cool seeing hard work pay off. Like, it's really cool. If I'm being completely honest, the show isn't perfect. It still has those anime and manga tropes that you see everywhere, although it's used in a great way. It's not the best show you'll ever see, but it is one of the best animes you'll ever watch. So, if you like anime and you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? The manga is great too, and I love the Rize teaser at the end of the last episode. I didn't know that until I read the manga, but after rewatching it again, it's great. Like, it's awesome. It's so cool to see that at the end. So I will give Chainsaw Man a 9.5 out of 10. Really good, but not perfect. I'm sorry, guys. It's just really not perfect. It is, however, my favorite anime slash manga, so there you go. There is no bias, obviously. Anyways, let's just roll the outro. How about that? Let's just get this over with. You guys are done hearing me talk.